What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to see if we can go ahead and create a Dapp using GPT-4 from ChatGPT. So we're going to see if we can ask ChatGPT to create us a simple voting Dapp, and we're going to go ahead and create that smart contract using Solidity. Then we'll go ahead and use thirdweb's SDK to go ahead and build a front-end application to go ahead and interact with our smart contract. And right here, I have a demo of the app that we're going to be creating. So I'm actually going to disconnect real quick. So it's just going to be a voting Dapp, and it's going to ask us to go ahead and connect our wallet. And we're going to go ahead and it's going to bring up a question, and it's just going to be a simple yes or no question. And basically you can go ahead and submit your vote with your wallet, and your wallet can only go ahead and submit a vote once. So this question is a hot dog a sandwich? We're going to hit no. And to submit our vote, we're going to have to pay some gas here. And after our vote is submitted, it'll actually show us the results of what the votes are at currently. So you can see here the results are 2 yeses, 1 no, and you can't vote again because again your wallet can only go ahead and vote once. So now that we know the demo of what we're going to be building, let's go ahead, let's jump into ChatGPT right now and see if it can create it for us. All right, so we're in ChatGPT right here, and you can go ahead and see that I asked ChatGPT and I stated that they were a Solidity developer expert, and I asked for some beginner projects that weren't a hello world counter or to-do list, and it gave us some things like ERC20 tokens, a simple voting system, and a simple auction. And I chose to go with the voting system, so I asked it, hey, how would you create this? And it broke down how to go ahead and create the smart contract. I wanted to make sure that depending on the proposal that was created, it was a yes or no vote that someone could put in. So I asked ChatGPT instead to create a yes or no question and set the proposal to that and just keep track of the yes or no votes. So it modified it really quick, and this is what we came out with here. I actually did run this code here, but there is no mapping allowed inside of a struct for Solidity. So we made that quick edit right here. So I added that the struct containing a nested mapping cannot be constructed, and it made the adjustments and it edited our Solidity contract here. So this is what we got here. So let's just take a quick dive and look into it. You can see here that this is our contract. It's called yes no voting. It creates a struct for a proposal here. So it's going to save the proposal question and then the number of yes votes and the number of no votes. Our proposals are just going to be saved in an array called proposals, and for the mapping here, it is to map through if an address has voted or not. So we can check on if a wallet address has voted on a proposal. They are not allowed to vote multiple times. They can only vote once. And right here, this is the function for creating a proposal. So whatever our question is, we can go ahead and submit that, and it will add the proposal to our proposals here using the proposal struct. Now we can see we have our function, our vote function, which is going to take the proposal that we are voting for, and we are basically just passing a bool of true or false, and the true equaling yes to the question and the false equaling no to the question. And it's going to check if that person has voted or not, and if they have voted, you're just going to get a you have already voted error here. And if they vote yes, it is going to increase the yes votes, and if you are true, and if you vote false, then it is going to increase the no votes. And then it will change that wallet address to has voted to true, not allowing them to go ahead and vote again. And then we have a function called get proposals, which is just going to return us the proposal question and the number of yes votes and the number of no votes. And that is our smart contract here. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually copy this. I'm going to go ahead, open up my terminal here, resize this so everyone can see, and I'm going to create a smart contract using thirdweb. So we're going to do npx thirdweb create, and I'm going to do contract. And what is our project name? This is going to be yes no vote. We're going to use hard hat. We're just going to name this yes no vote contract, and we're going to just create a empty contract here. All right, once that's done, let's go ahead and open this up in our code editor, enlarge this and zoom in here for everyone to see. So we're going to open up our contract folder here, and we have our contract here, and I am going to go ahead and delete everything here and paste in the code that we got from ChatGPT. And we're going to see if GPT-4 could go ahead and create us a working yes/no voting Dapp. So this is our smart contract here. We're going to go ahead and deploy this. So I'm going to open up my terminal here, my code editor, and I'm going to do npx thirdweb deploy. So it should open up a tab in your browser. You can go ahead and select the network that you want to go ahead and deploy to. I'm going to use the Mumbai, which is Polygon's testnet for this demo, but you can go ahead and choose any mainnet or testnet network. And the cool thing with thirdweb is if you go to configure networks, you can basically choose any EVM compatible blockchain to go ahead and deploy your smart contracts to. But I'm going to keep it on Mumbai Matic here, and I am going to make sure I'm in the right wallet really quick, and then hit deploy, and I'm going to deploy the smart contract. Right, and then we're going to go ahead and sign this to add it to our dashboard. And once it has successfully deployed, you can see we have our yes/no voting contract here, and this is our contract dashboard. Now in the left hand side here, we can go to Explorer, and this is our contract explorer, and this is where we can go ahead and see all the read and write functions of our smart contract. So you can see right here we have a create proposal, which will go ahead and put in the string or the question that our proposal is going to be, and then you have a vote, which is you will then pass the proposal number or the proposal index, and then we're going to vote yes or no using true or false. In the read, we have get proposal results. We have has voted to check if a address has voted or not, and then we have proposals just to go ahead and see the proposals that we have. So let's go ahead, let's actually go ahead and using the contract explorer here, let's create a proposal. And our question is a hot dog a sandwich, right? So we're going to go ahead and execute that. That is going to create our first proposal or question. So we'll go ahead, confirm that transaction and wait for it to go through. All right, once that transaction goes through, let's head on over back to our read functions here, and we can go ahead and get proposal results, and we'll pass 0 because this is the 0 index of our proposals. It's our first one. So hit run, and you can see is a hot dog a sandwich. Now the true or false our results are going to be passed to us in big numbers. So in our app, we will go ahead and convert those. But you can see here, this is where the true or yes and false and no results are going to be stored. So our contract seems to be working. We won't vote yes. We'll wait till we go ahead and create our app to go ahead and do that. Now in the top right here of our contract dashboard, you'll see build apps. If you go ahead and click on that, you're going to get brought to the build tab right here on the side, and you can see getting started, and it's going to give us some code snippets to get us started with coding our actual app. So you can see we have all different languages from JavaScript to React Native, Python, Go, Unity. You can go ahead and select what language you are going to start building your app with, and then we can go ahead and select that, and you can go ahead and see that we have some code snippets here. Even for our read and write functions, you can see we're going to have all the code snippets down here that go ahead and use within our application. So let's go ahead, let's make that now. Let's open up my terminal again. I'm just going to clear this out, and we're going to do npx thirdweb, and we're going to do create app this time, and we're going to go ahead and just go yes, no, no vote app. This is EVM because we're on the Mumbai. We're going to use Next.js and TypeScript for this, and we'll go ahead and let that install. All right, once it is done, let's go ahead and switch over to our yes, no vote app here and open that into our code editor. All right, so the first thing we're going to do in the pages here, we're going to go to our underscore app.txx file and change our active chain to, in our case, or my case right now, I am going to do the Mumbai chain, but you'll go ahead and switch this to whatever chain you deployed your contract to. Then I'll head on over to the index.tsx file, and what I'm going to do is this is some templated code that thirdweb generates. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of everything within the main tags. So I'm just going to delete to that right there. I'm actually going to create a new div and then In this one, I'm going to give it a class name, and I'm going to use the card class that thirdweb has. I'm just going to do style.card, add card. And what we're going to do now is kind of just set up everything so that we can go ahead and get our contract and go ahead and interact with it. So I'm going to set up a couple of variables up here. I'm going to do one called address, and this is going to use the use address hook from thirdweb. And all this is going to do is it's going to grab the wallet address of the wallet connected to our Dapp. Now I'm also going to store our contract address, which I'm going to go ahead and get from our dashboard here. So if you come to our dashboard, right under the name, you can copy that contract address there. And I'm just going to paste that right in here. And then we're going to do a couple things. We're going to first get our contract. So I'm going to do we're going to create our contract here using the use contract hook. And the use contract hook, all we're going to do is pass the contract address and make sure we have this imported here. And then we're going to grab a couple things from our contract. So one, we want to go ahead and know what the question or proposal was. So what we're going to do is we're going to write out this code, piece of code right here. So we're going to use the use contract read hook. Let me just import that real quick. And use contract read, we got to pass through our contract that we're going to go ahead and get the read function from. Then we're going to pass the name of the read function, and then after this, any arguments that the read function takes. So in this case, our contract, and we have the proposals read function. So if I come back here to my Explore and go under read, we have the proposals here, which we're going to pass 0. That's going to go ahead and give us the question of the proposal right there. So again, we're just proposals and the 0 for our first question that we went ahead and created. The next one that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and create one for has voted. And has voted is just going to do the same thing using contract read. We're going to read over the if the wallet address has voted, and again we're passing through the first question, and we have to double check if that address has voted or not, right? And that will give us back has voted. Again, the other one will give us back proposal, and we also have this is loading here, which will check and make sure that we actually have the data needed. That way we can just make sure that we're displaying it when the time comes. So now let's go ahead and create our card and everything here. So in our card, we're going to go ahead and in that div that we created, we're going to add a UI component called not Web3 button, but connect wallet. And we're going to save that, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to open this up really quick. So I'm going to open up my terminal here, do yarn dev, and I'm going to open this up in my local host just so we can see what we have so far. And you can see we have our card here, and we have our connect wallet. And connect wallet will allow us to connect using MetaMask, Coinbase, or Wallet Connect here. So we know that is all good and working. Now below that, I'm just going to add a really quick title here, and I'm going to name this voting Dapp. All right, and now below this, we're going to create a div, and what I'm going to do first is check if a wallet is connected or not. So I'm just going to see address here, and if a wallet is connected, we'll show them the information that needs to be shown, like the question and everything. But if it's not connected, we just want to say like connect your wallet to get started or something. Drop that into, and then if they are connected, let's go ahead and we'll display some more things over here. So again, we're checking if the wallet address is there, which is going to check if a wallet is connected or not. If it's not, we're just going to ask them to connect your wallet to get started. And if it is, then we'll go ahead and start displaying some of the information for our voting Dapp. So next thing we want to check is if the proposals here have loaded from our contract. So we'll go ahead and do proposal loading, and we'll go ahead and check if those are loaded from our smart contract. And if it is still loading, we're just going to show loading proposals. And if it is finished loading, then we can go ahead and display that proposal. So what we'll do here is we'll create a header 2, and what we're going to do is display proposal. And if we look here back at our contract, where is it? You can see that we have 3 items here. So the actual question, the yes results, and then the no results. So we're just going to pass through the first item 0, which is going to give us the question here. So that's what we're going to pass through over there. And then under that, we're going to go ahead and create 2 buttons that we're going to go ahead and basically put yes or no, and that will allow people to vote. So the first button, we're going to use the Web3 button UI component from thirdweb. That one will say yes. We'll copy this here. Put a little break in between here and change the second button to a no. And the Web3 button, we need to add at least 2 things really quick. The first one is our contract address, which is just going to be our contract address that we stored above. And then the second one is going to be an action, which is going to be the action that this button is going to call on top of that smart contract. So I'm going to go ahead and actually we'll do that right now. So for this action here, on our contract, we are going to do contract, and then for this button, what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to do a .call, and we are going to put in the function that we are going to call from our contract, and then the arguments that that function takes. So if we look back at our smart contract again here, if we go to write, we are basically going to do this vote contract here, which is going to take the index of the question or proposal that we're voting for, and is going to put true or false depending on the answer. So here we are going to call it on the vote function. We are going to pass 0 first, which is the first question that we are answering, and this is the yes button, so we are going to put true. Now we are going to copy this same thing right over here for the no button. And then the only thing that we're changing here, instead of true, the answer will be false. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at our app here. And you can see right now, we're not displaying anything. It's asking us to connect our wallet to get started. So let's go ahead and let's connect our MetaMask wallet here. All right, now that we are connected, we get displayed our question here that says voting Dapp, and then it's asking, is a hot dog a sandwich? And then you can vote on yes or no. So if we click on 1, you see the transaction is pulled up right over here. I'm going to go ahead and reject that. Now, one thing that we also want to do is let's go ahead, let's demo this out real quick. Let's vote. So we'll just say yes for this, confirm that transaction. All right, so you can see the transaction went through, but we can actually still go ahead and vote again. Transaction this time won't go through because we have already voted, but we don't want the user to have the impression that they can still go ahead and vote. So what we can do is in our buttons here, there is another thing that we can add called is disabled, and all is disabled is going to do is check if they have voted, it will disable the button and they'll no longer be able to vote. So if we take a look at our Dapp here, you can see that I can no longer click on the button because I have already voted with this wallet address. So now the next thing we want to do is display the results, but we only want to display the results if someone has actually voted. We don't want the results to persuade anyone in any way, so we're not going to show the results until someone has actually voted with yes or no. So below here, I'm just going to create another div here. This is where we're going to show the results. So one, we have to say we're going to double check if the voting results have loaded here, but we're also going to check and make sure that, again, this only displays if someone has voted. So make sure they have voted and that everything is loaded and can be displayed, and if it can, then what we're going to go ahead and do in here, we're just going to put H3, we'll just put results, and for our results we will have a P here, which will be yes, and yes is going to display In proposal, we have yes, which is the second item, but we also have to convert this to a number. So we're going to put to number here, and then we're just going to copy this here. And then this is no, and this is taking the third item. So that is if they have voted, that will display, and if they haven't voted, we'll just display a message saying that they can see the results after they vote. Right. So let's go back to our Dapp, and let's go ahead, let's refresh this real quick. Oh, and then gotta make sure it is not loading, making sure that it is done loading and that they have voted. Okay, I think that should work now. Yeah, so you can see here now the results are shown, and we have yes for 1, which we just answered, and no as a 0. So if we go ahead and actually switch accounts here, so switch to one that hasn't voted, we'll connect, and you'll see that we can't see the results because we can't view it until we vote. But if we hit no here, we can still go ahead and vote because this wallet hasn't voted yet. Once this transaction goes through, we should see the results here, which is 1 yes and 1 no now, and the buttons are disabled. And there you go. We went ahead and created a voting Dapp, and we actually generated this smart contract using ChatGPT with the new GPT-4. Now, if you folks did find this video helpful in any way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on videos just like this. And if you want, just for a little bit fun, we're gonna put a link down in the description below to this actual Dapp, so you can go ahead and cast your very own vote. And if you folks have any questions or need any support, don't forget to join our Discord channel, drop your question, and we'll be happy to help you out in there. You can also join the amazing community of builders just like yourself, and we're always happy to see people in our community in there. So again, I hope you folks enjoyed this video, and until next time, see ya.